Hello, everyone. Thank you, Paul, for having me tonight. I hope you can hear me loud and clear. So I will start talking about the sky this month. My name is Claudio, and speaking from Richmond Hill, just north of Toronto, a few hundred meters away from the David Dunlop Observatory. At glimpse, what's going on this month? So we have a few planetary close encounters. Venus and Jupiter will be only half degree apart tonight and tomorrow. They will be just 1 degree apart. Jupiter will be half degree north of the moon on March 20, and Venus and the moon will be only zero point 0.1 degree apart on March 24th. So full moon is going to be on March 7. Don't forget to advance your clocks by 1 hour on March 12. So we have to change our clock because daylight savings, and also best time of the year to watch the zodiacal light in the northern hemisphere after sunset for about 2 weeks, starting on March 9th. We are going to have spring equinox on March 20 and a new moon and Sirius at opposition on March 21st. It's galaxy season, exciting time, and I will talk about something about Messier Marathon opportunity. No major meteor showers in March. But let's start. Tonight, now, look at the west. If your sky is clear, this picture I took 1 hour ago. Venus and Jupiter in conjunction now. Less than 1 degree apart. What does it mean? It means that if you stretch your arm and put your pinky like this, you will cover both the planets. Zodiacal light. The time of the equinox is one of the best times of the year to see the zodiacal light. Why? Because it's the time of the year while the zodiacal light is the steepest angle. And what is a zodiacal light, by the way? It's a triangular diffuse globe of light made of interplanetary dust and is on the same plane of the ecliptic where the planets look moving. From the northern hemisphere, you will be able to see the zodiacal light after sunset around the equinoxes. It's interesting because this is a recent discovery, new research by the spacecraft Juno suggests that the interplanetary dust that causes the phenomenon may have Martian origin. More in the next slide, but you can also see the link here. This is something I found on the internet, and it's interesting that the Juno spacecraft has a 60 square meters of solar arrays, provide a large target for dust impacts. And what they noticed is that they recorded more than 15,000 events while it was around Mars. This is the research. Sunrise, sunset. So on March 1st tonight, the sunrise was at 6:54 a.m. Sunset was at 6:05 p.m. So almost 11 hours and 11 minutes of daylight. But April 5th, we have more light than night. So this is good news, maybe not for astronomers, but this is something to keep in mind when you have to plan your observations. And again, the astronomical twilight today, the twilight ends at 7:41 p.m. and starts at 5:19 a.m. So this means that we have 9 hours and 38 minutes of imaging night. Spring equinox will be on March 20, as I said before, and on April 5th, you will see that we have only 8 hours and 12 minutes of imaging night. So means that we lost 1 hour 26 minutes of imaging time since March the 1st. The sky. So first of all, we have to get ready to say goodbye to Orion, the winter constellations. For the next few weeks, they're still in a decent position, so take advantage. Andromeda sets to the west horizon around midnight tonight, and the spring constellations are starting getting higher in the eastern sky. So Leo, Virgo, Coma, Berenices, Bootes, Corona Borealis, and so on. And at the end of March, Libra, Serpents, Ophiuchus, and Scorpio will appear. And galaxy season. So if you see the sky tonight at 9:30 to the southwestern sky, you can see Orion still in a decent position, as I said, and Sirius, the Canis Major. The Taurus is here, Aldebaran. And if you move, this is from Stellarium, by the way, if you move to the southeast east horizon, you can see that the spring constellation will getting higher and higher. Leo, comma Berenices, Virgo, with a galaxy cluster. Looking north, you see that the Big Dipper will be higher in the sky as well, and also the Ursa Major. Cepheus is going lower, and Cassiopeia and Andromeda will be very, very low. While if you look to the western horizon, you will see that also the Taurus is going down. You can see Mars is still in the Taurus constellation. Let's talk about the planets, and let's start with our sun. The sun is approaching its maximum activity for this solar cycle, and if you check the links below, we had northern lights 2 days ago, and 3 days ago I got a notification on my aurora forecast. Someone 8 kilometers from here was able to see the aurora. I went out, I was already wearing my PJ, but I wasn't as lucky. But keep an eye, there's a lot of activity. It's a lot of sunspots. You can see this is a picture I took a couple of weeks ago with a solar filter. The moon will reach apogee on March the 3rd, where its distance will be 400,000 kilometers, while the perigee for this month will be on March 19, and its distance will be 362,000 kilometers. The phases of the moon, so we see that the next full moon will be on March 7th at 7:40 a.m. Eastern time, while last quarter will be on March 14. It will be already Eastern Daylight Time saving, so keep an eye on your watch. The new moon will be on March 21st, and the first quarter will be on March 28th. Lot of activities. The moon, the planets will be interesting this month. So tonight, as I already said, there is a spectacular conjunction between Venus and Jupiter, only 0.5 degree apart. And tomorrow is still a good day if you have a good weather, because the planets will be only 1 degree apart, still very close. And then what happens next is that Jupiter will go down and Venus will be higher in the sky. On March 22nd, Jupiter will be positioned half degree above the moon, and Moon and Venus will be very interesting to see on March 24th, because they will be only 0.1 degrees apart. Moon and Mars will kiss each other on March 28th, and this is very hard to see on March 31st. Venus and Uranus will be only 1.3 degrees apart, but there's a problem because it's after sunset. Venus will be very easy to find, but Uranus will be only 5.8 magnitude, so more than 4,000 times dimmer. Good luck, and let me know if you can see them. So this is the situation for Jupiter and Venus tonight, and if you scroll to the next slide, this is tomorrow. So you will see Jupiter to the left is going down and Venus going higher on the western horizon. On March 21st, the asteroid 1 Ceres will be at opposition. Is a very good chance to see this asteroid because its magnitude will be plus 7.32. So it's easy to find if you know where to look. It will be in Leo constellation. And then on March 22nd, you will see that the moon meets Jupiter. So very low in the sky again on the western horizon after sunset. This is around 8 o'clock p.m. On March 24, again, the moon meets Venus and very low to the horizon, hard to see, Jupiter, and somehow here there is Mercury. Again, as I said before, Mars and Uranus on March 24 will be very close, but try to look at them. A good photo opt will be on March 25th because the moon and the Pleiades will share the same field of view. While on March 28th, the moon meets Mars. Other things that are notable, Mars and M35 will be very close together. So it's another good opportunity to take a picture because this open cluster in Gemini share the same field of view of the moon, of Mars, sorry. And Venus and Uranus on March 30, 31st. With a binocular, a camera, a small telescope, maybe you can have a chance to see them together. Very hard to see, but why don't you try? Mercury will be invisible in the next few days because it will reach a superior conjunction on March 17. It will be on the opposite side of the Sun and it will return in the evening sky in the last few days of March. In April, we have the best evening apparition of the year for the Northern Hemisphere, so keep ready to watch Mercury. Venus, you can't have any mistake because after sunset, this is the very prominent object in the western evening sky. And it will be 85.6 illuminated at the beginning of this month, while the part that is illuminated is at 75% at April 5th. It's like a moon, it's elongated here, and this is what you can see from Stellarium. And again, will be an extremely close conjunction tonight and tomorrow night with Jupiter. So if you didn't go out and have a look, and if you have a good weather, because it's very, very nice to see, and also extremely a close encounter with the waxing crescent moon on March 24th. And again, with Uranus on March 30 and 31st. Mars is still very well placed in the evening sky in Taurus constellation, and the first quarter moon will pass 2 degrees north of Mars on March 28. So sign the date. Jupiter will be very low to the horizon, so we have the last few weeks to look at Jupiter before we say goodbye. Saturn will emerge in the morning twilight on the second half of March. And the ring system is closing. The next ring planned crossing will be on 2025. Uranus, you have still a few weeks to see at Uranus before is going on conjunction. And Venus will be very close to Uranus on March 21st. Neptune, no chance to see Neptune. Comet and asteroid. So as I say, the series will reach opposition on March 21st. And by the way, if you want to look to see more about comets, there is this website that is telling you about the bright comets. I only took notes of comets that will reach a magnitude that is less than 11. We still talk about the comet ZDF, still bright enough. It was 7.7 on February 26. It is still observable in the northern hemisphere until the end of April. There is another comet that was 8.2 magnitude on February 21st, but is not visible on the northern hemisphere, unfortunately, until this summer. While there is this comet, the C2022A2 Pan-STARRS, that is visible in our latitude, but very low in the sky. So it's a little bit challenging. And this comet, ZDF C2020V2, was a 10.6 magnitude of February 23rd. So in order to watch all these comets, you will need a binocular or a small telescope. But above all, you need to know where to find them. And recently, I created a video tutorial on how to add minor planets or comets and asteroids to Stellarium. And this is the link. Deep sky suggestions for March. So we still have some nebula, as I said, M42, the Great Orion Nebula here. Open clusters, the Pleiades, are still visible quite high in the sky for a few weeks still. And you have a good chance to see beautiful open clusters in Gemini and Auriga. So M35, M36, M37, and M38. Galaxies, M81 and M82 in Ursa Major are getting higher and higher. By the end of March, beginning of April, that will be the best time of the year to watch them. M51, the Whirlpool Galaxy, is also visible, and also the Pinwheel Galaxy, M101 in Ursa Major. I didn't mention NGC object because this month I want to focus on something that we can try at the end of March, the Messier Marathon, in the next few slides. The challenge for this month. First, get the right equipment. Unfortunately, we'll need at least a binocular or a small telescope to see all the objects of the Messier Marathon. At least, I would say, an 80 millimeter diameter telescope under darker sky. If you have a go-to mount, probably it's preferred, but you can also try to hop if you know where to look. Find the right location, and it's very important to have a dark sky, if you can, with a little light pollution, and if possible, with no moon interference, because there are some Messier objects that are very low to the horizon. So you need to have a clear sky of the horizon. Pick the right date. So all the 110 Messier objects will pass through the night sky only on certain night of the year, usually February, March, and September, depending on your latitude. In 2023, the new moon will be on March 21st, so pick a date, maybe during the weekend, before or after. So I said March 18, March 19, or March 25th, March 26th. Mark your calendar. This is a resource I found, spacetourismguide.com/Messier-marathon, and this is where I found this information. Use a resource to guide the marathon route. It's nice to have some other amateur astronomer to look together with, because there's more fun. By the way, is anyone planning to do a Messier Marathon this year? Just let me know in the comments. And read the Ultimate Guide to the Messier Marathon, so the Observing Guide to the Messier Marathon and Handbook to Atlas. This is a very, very good book. And most important, there is an optimal order to succeed in a Messier Marathon. And this I will go through very quickly, but you can see the link here, the next page, and messier.seeds.com/extra/marathon/marath1.html. This is the list. It's a long list. I don't want to go through. Maybe I can just let you see where you start and where you to end, because this will take you the entire night. So we'll start in Cetus, Pisces, Triangulum, Andromedas on the western horizon, Cassiopeia, Perseus, Taurus, and then you go south, Orion, still Taurus, Gemini, Auriga, Canis Major, Opis Monoceros. If you look at the map, you're going from west to south. And then there is a long, long list. Going deep in the night, you will see galaxies in Leo, Ursa Major, Canis Venatici, again, Ursa Major, Draco, Coma Berenices. So after midnight, Virgo, 1 o'clock in the morning, Coma Berenices, Virgo, 2 o'clock in the morning. And then you start looking at the summer constellation, serpents, the snake, Hercules, Lyra, Cygnus, the little fox, Vulpecula, the Dumbbell Nebula, and then going down in Scorpius, Ophiuchus, and then Sagittarius is very busy here. And then Pegasus, going back almost sunrise. So keep going faster and faster, Aquarius and Capricornus. And then that's it. And please let me know if you reach. I didn't finish a Messier Marathon, but it is my bucket list. About ISS Visible Passes, we have a few of them. This is the link to find them. So www.heavensabove.com, and you will need to specify your coordinates, latitude and longitude, for your location, and you will see the brightest, the number, so minus 2.8 is a good chance, minus 2.4 is a good chance, and so minus 3.5 is very, very bright. So you have to look from March the 1st to April and see where this is possible. If you click to the links here to the left, you will reach a map when you can see where the International Space Station is visible. I have a few events. If you see minus 3.9, it's 5 in the morning, but if you're awake, maybe you can try to look. And then at some point you will see March 14, the International Space Station will switch from the morning sky to the evening sky after sunset. See 10 o'clock on March 15, and March 16 is a very good chance. And March 17 is the best for this month because you see minus 3.4, minus 3.8, almost the same magnitude as Venus. So save the date here again. And again, at the end of March, we have a few more options, still in the evening sky, even on March 30 and March 31st, very bright, minus 3.8, minus 3.7, and so on. Every once in a while, you should look at this website again because, these dates are valid for today, but, if there is a new spacecraft that is docking to the International Space Station and their maneuver, this will change over the time. So you have to check probably for the next week is more accurate. For the next 3 weeks, probably you want to go back to be sure that you have same time. And then let's talk about space exploration. There are a few events happening this month. I don't want to go through all of them, but probably the most interesting will be the Cruise mission has been delayed a couple of times. SpaceX mission. Beginning, this will be February 19, then February 26, then February 27, delay. So the next possible date is March the 2nd. As a backup, they have March the 3rd. And we have a lot of satellites, sorry about that. OneWeb, Starlink, SpaceX. But the most interesting for me, I don't know if this will be real, but there was an announcement a few weeks ago. Maybe the Starship will have the first orbital test flight. I don't know yet, but keep an eye on the website, the SpaceX and the space.com. There was the announcement. So maybe that will be the first orbital test flight. It should have been on the 2022, but then it was delayed. And the latest news said that probably it will be at some point in March or maybe April. So keep an eye on this. Starlink again, and space exploration. So this is a website where I found the most of the space launch. And that's pretty much it for me. I don't know if you have any questions.
Thank you so much, Claudio, for your thorough presentation on the sky this month. We'll give the folks online a moment to formulate some questions. In the meantime, here in the room, do we have any questions for Claudio about his presentation or about something that maybe didn't cover you're interested in hearing about? We don't have any. I have a question myself, Claudio. I'm not sure if you happen to know the answer. You spoke about Aurora, and I've completely lost track of where we are in the 11-year solar cycle. Are we on the declining side? Are we on the upward swing? Trying to find out where we are in the solar cycle. Are we in the middle? Have we passed it?
Claudia, where are we in the solar cycle?
So we will reach the maximum of this solar cycle next year, but the sun is very active, so keep an eye whenever you can, but with the solar filter, please.
Very good, thank you so much. Okay, do we have any online questions then?
Anything?
We do have questions from online. The first question is, Claudio, do you have a website where you keep your images and equipment?
Yes, I do. My website is wondersofthesky.com.
Great. There was another question. Have the Japanese Space Agency said what went wrong for them?
Oh, I didn't notice that. I don't know. I had to check online, but yes, I think a few weeks ago there was someone, a speaker, that was a very, was even crying, I think, but I don't remember exactly. So there was a problem with the spacecraft. If
Okay.
this is what you were talking about. And so I was
Yes.
feeling very bad for the speaker. They left him alone.
Cool. Thank you. I think that's it for the questions from online. Back to you, Paul.
Okay, thank you, Emma, and thanks, Claudio.